Then Puff was like, yeah, like first he was amping him to get stopped. Then he was like, yo, so when we gonna get the chance to, to kick it, like we could just hang out. We gotta kick it.
This is
Puff.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. He was like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this just say?
I asked 50 about that. And he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah. I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy.
Yo, why are you and 50?
Hey, yo.
Why are y'all not?
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with
I don't know why.
With Fifth. He loves me.
They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
So tell us what's going on with this. We understand rapper 50 Cent has been shopping this around.
You know what? I think a lot of people thought that 50 was just trolling. And
No, this optional today, I didn't talk to her.
No. Is Diddy gonna go to jail? What do you think?
I think he's in trouble.
Can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to find out what's really been going on in the back.
You won't believe the drama unfolding between Diddy and 50 Cent. These two giants of hip-hop have escalated their feud, and it's getting intense. We're talking courtroom battles, social media fights, and a whole lot more. It's bigger than just their bank accounts. Here's the scoop. 50 Cent made a move that's so outrageous and disrespectful that Diddy is absolutely furious. We're talking about the kind of anger that could make someone pop a blood vessel. He's ready to call his lawyers and set Instagram on fire. You definitely won't want to miss the juicy details of this unfolding drama.
Just like New York, just like Mount Vernon, New York City, Mount Vernon, and Miami, all that is the same, bruh. Nobody wants to be near him. Nobody wants to touch what he touched, be where he at. You understand? It's crazy, bruh, how his fall from grace, which was never from grace. It's just like the devil just kicked him out of hell, because he was never in nothing graceful and did anything graceful. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you say about, okay, he did the music, he had the bad boy legacy and everything like that, man. But, a few albums, a few people, made to be famous, but they not here to tell their story. Black Rob, Biggie, Craig Mack. They not here to tell their story, bro. And now you got everybody telling his story.
Yeah, and I know 50, he did a recent interview with US Weekly saying that the reason why rappers are quiet about, Diddy's situation is because they've been to his parties and they don't know what got caught on tape.
Bro, those people who was caught at Diddy's party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders in that house. That's a big house. But he had 250 tape recorders in that house that they took, that the feds found. So now with them finding all that and you being at a Diddy party, you may have done something that was caught on one of those tapes. You just better pray to God that they don't recognize you. Those people who know that they did something, no, they're not going to speak out. They're not going to say nothing. What part of the game is that? They are not going to come forward and tell on themselves. Nah, not at all. Ice Cube, he said it himself, bro. He said that Diddy's been targeted because of what he said about those folks and those people. Now, the people who was on those tapes may feel like Diddy might be targeting them. Because if he's asked about who is this, who is that, and he's under oath with the federal government, he got to tell them. He's not going to plead the fifth.
Yeah, I know that got to be a terrible feeling, man. You know you did something wrong at Diddy party, and you hoping and praying that it's not caught on tape.
But they don't think they did nothing wrong. That's their lifestyle. That's their lifestyle, bruh. I ask guys all the time, if two men lay down, how many homos get up? What you mean? I mean what I mean. It's what it is.
Let me tell you about the courtroom drama between Diddy and 50 Cent. It was like a reality TV show with real-life stakes. Diddy walked in all swagger and confidence, thinking he was the king of hip-hop, but 50 Cent had other plans. As Diddy settled in, 50 pulled out some shocking evidence, documents, texts, and emails that left everyone speechless. The judge was trying to stay professional, but even she couldn't hide her surprise as 50's team revealed one jaw-dropping detail after another. It was clear this showdown was anything but ordinary.
With Diddy, I mean, and where do we even begin? He has been named in 6 lawsuits. 4 of those filed so far are male accusers. And I was reading the details on the TMZ website, and wow, it's really graphic.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right, Shannon, and I'll be careful explaining these things. But he's facing so many. I mean, it seems like an endless amount of fights on an endless amount of fronts right now. And these are civil lawsuits, obviously, so these are not criminal charges. But he's sitting in a jail cell in Brooklyn right now on criminal charges and facing life in prison if convicted. These lawsuits are from an attorney named Tony Busby. He's been involved in a lot of big cases in the past. Deshaun Watson, Chris Brown, Travis Scott. So he knows his way around a big case. He represents these 4 men and men now, but in one case, a 16-year-old boy who says in 1998, when he was a teenager, he went to a white party. He was invited. He found himself in an occasion to be alone with Diddy, he says, and he claims that Diddy basically, made him drop his pants and Diddy touched him and essentially called it a rite of passage to become a star in the music industry. And then it just seemingly gets worse from there. I mean, allegations of sexual assault, ranging from 1998 to October of 2021, and these men, in many cases have a similar story. One guy says, hey, 2008, I find myself, he said, I worked for Echo, the clothing line, and Sean, Diddy had Sean John, and he said, we were at the Macy's stockroom, the flagship store in Manhattan, and he says that he was pistol whipped by somebody who was with Diddy, and then that he was sexually assaulted and raped, and it's really, really ugly stuff. Diddy, for his part, last night came out, Shannon, and said, I never sexually assaulted anybody, man or woman, child or adult, but either he's the most targeted person in the world, or perhaps there's something to these allegations. He hasn't been convicted of anything at this point, for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. We know that there could be more victims on the way. That you mentioned Texas attorney.
I think there will be.
Yeah, Tony Busby, who says there will be more. Of course, as you mentioned, Diddy is denying all.
The tension in the courtroom was palpable, with everyone on edge. Diddy's confidence was slipping, and he looked increasingly uncomfortable as 50 Cent prepared to drop a major bombshell. When he revealed the shocking details, Diddy's expression shifted to one of pure disbelief. It was the kind of moment that made everyone think, oh no, he didn't. While I can't share all the specifics, let's just say it involved shady business deals and some big names in the industry, with money amounts that would make your head spin. This revelation could change everything for both of them and shake up the hip-hop world. You'd think Diddy might back down, but this is just the start. The courtroom drama is about to ignite, and it's going to be explosive.
You kind of knew 50 Cent before he blew up.
Yeah.
What was that like?
50 was the type of dude that kept like a little, he kept like a little pad with him. And he wrote everything down. You understand? Me and him caught the plane. We was going to Vegas. And I gave him my card. My business card was savoir faire, security management, and everywhere. You know what I mean? So 50 did a song about that. You know what I'm saying? And he put that in the song. And some years ago, about a year or so ago, not even a year or so ago, he said that when he dropped my name, he said, yo, I got the savoir faire. I got that from Big Gene. He been trying to tell y'all about this Puff shit years ago. But 50 was the type of dude that if you knew he was with you, he was with you. Even back then, he had your back whether you was security or whatever you did. If he was with you, he was with you. And that's what you gotta love about him. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta question his loyalty, you know what I'm saying, on some fight shit or if you in a situation. Cause he going out.
Well, I guess you were hanging around him or knew him, right before he got shot.
Well, what happened is that I had got some information. 50 came to my house. I tried to fit him on a vest, but I'm like, at the time I was like a 3X. And 50 was like a large, you know what I'm saying? So he couldn't really fit the vest, but I gave him a cover to try to tell him, because he had some pads, some vest pads. So I just told him what the situation was that I knew. And told him he had to watch himself because those cats was gonna come at him. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah. And he was supposed to be going to Cancun. And I told him, if you come to Cancun, I got you, because I used to be down there doing security at Daddy-O's. You understand? And I had people down there that I had knew that was from Puerto Rico, and they was working down there, so they should make sure when I hit the island, anything and everything I needed, I could get it right there on the island. You understand? They worked directly with the syndicate. So 50 was supposed to come down there to do a show, and he didn't make it because they had shot him up. I don't know if he was coming in the first place, but he was supposed to, because he was paid half the money to come down there to perform How to Rob an Industry Cat.
And when was the next time you seen him after that?
The next time I seen 50 after that was at Jack the Rapper. He had blew up. Man. He was like, he was this dude and everything like that. And I was sitting we was in Puerto Rico, and I was sitting by myself, just chilling, and he had his whole entourage with him. He came directly over to me. He like, yo, Gene. I was like, yo, what up, Fit? I said, what up, 50? He said, what's up, man? He said, yo, put his hand out to me, and grabbed my, he said, yo, they can't stop what God got planned. Went on about his business. And then he blew up crazy.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
The fallout from the courtroom drama hit social media like a tidal wave. 50 Cent turned his Instagram into a battleground, targeting Diddy with posts that had everyone buzzing. He unleashed a barrage of jaw-dropping memes and savage captions that left followers stunned. 50 didn't stop at jokes. He shared screenshots that raised serious questions about Diddy's past. It was like a real-time expose, and fans couldn't look away. The internet was on fire as 50 Cent kept dropping those receipts, making it clear he was in this fight to win.
How do you feel about 50 going so hard at Diddy with the documentaries and, what did he do to 50 that made him hate him so much, man? That's crazy.
Well, I think it's just, you got to look at it like this. 50 was writing a lot of shit that made a lot of money for Diddy. And he knew back then in the day, he didn't know what he know now, but Diddy was robbing him. You understand? Mm-hmm. Bringing those kids in and say, yo, here, write this verse for me, man, for this, stuff like that, and giving them $5,000, you understand? Or $10,000, and you making $100,000 or $200,000 or maybe $2 million off of it, or $1 million, whatever the case may be. See, people call that good business. That's not good business. That's taking a person's talent, using it for your own self-indulgence, and not giving him
what it's worth. When you could have been teaching these kids, you could have been helping these kids. And maybe these kids would have been helping you at the point you are right now. So, if that's the case, he have every right. But 50 is doing this for the culture. You understand? If it's going to be told, he going to have it, and it's going to be told the right way.
Yeah, man. And 50, he go hard on Diddy, man. It's constant on his Instagram. It's kind of, it's pretty entertaining to see him be so passionate about his hate for Diddy.
Listen, how many of your enemies you love?
The streets were buzzing as 50 Cent showed no signs of slowing down, and fans were glued to their screens, eager for the next post. Every meme and screenshot chipped away at Diddy's carefully crafted image, leaving his reputation hanging by a thread. While some fans loved the drama, others wondered if it marked the end of an era. But 50 wasn't just throwing shade. He was being strategic, targeting Diddy where it hurt most. Then, just when it seemed things couldn't get any crazier, 50 dropped a bombshell post that sent shockwaves through the industry. This wasn't just about roasting Diddy anymore. It revealed major secrets that could change the game. The internet exploded with reactions, and suddenly, everyone was scrambling to pick a side.
About none of them boys.
Oh.
He don't give a about Louisiana. Because I tell you one thing, the second that Curtis got down there, right before me and my son were separated from each other, we went home for a visit. And the fishing hole that we went to, where fish are normally jumping, all of a sudden died. There was nothing out there. You could smell the poison in the water, which of course would irrigation, which of course would bring storms around. You gotta like multimillionaires when they start creating tragedies to pretend to be heroes for. Why did Curtis Jackson lie to everybody? Why doesn't Curtis Jackson tell people that he has a house in Carrollton, and he's had a house in Carrollton for over 7 years? That he comes down here, getting a lay of the land, hiring private investigators to follow people around. Why didn't he tell anybody that Millennium Studios, which is now G-Unit Studios, was already there? Why is he pretending like he built it from the ground up? He didn't. He bought it. I know Millennium. I used to go there all the time.
Yeah, it did exist.
Yeah, I know. So why did he lie to everybody? Why did he tell everybody his studio was going to be in Texas? Why did he keep it so quiet? Why did nobody in Shreveport know that he was making such a large acquisition? There would have to be some kind of paperwork there. It's almost as if that sale happened overnight. Not even anyone in the clerk's office knew about it, and I would know. I know the clerk. That's my town.
Yeah, you be in Shreveport.
Those are my people.
Yeah.
What is it with all of these pretenders? And now they got an even bigger one named Curtis Jackson. They should check the EPA report since he's been there and the toxic waste he's been allowing to be dumped around the property of Millennium Studios for cheap cash. And I'm not saying allegedly, Curtis. I know what you've been doing. You don't get no about what happens to those people in that town, but I do. I love the people in that town. I just wonder how you like that man I sent you. Because he really didn't think you was gonna go for him. You, Curtis, you better do right by Shreveport, or I'm gonna let everybody know that Diddy Doo-Wop Bop ain't the only taste you got.
So, just to switch gears.
Curtis. I'm sick and tired of him. I'd have more respect for him if he came out the closet.
It seems like...
Because he's a lot more Bogart than Brooklyn.
It seems like 50 Cent is trying to take down Diddy.
No, he's trying to move Diddy and Jay-Z out the way so he can run it. And the truth is, I ain't mad at him. I just don't trust him. Because the truth is, he would just be another kind of monster in another kind of way. He don't want things to change. He just want to be the one that's running it. See? Easiest thing to do is to take your enemy's feet and hold them to the fire for things you know that they won't admit. Which is why when that C and D came out, he took all of that Diddy shit down. Because of his tape. Say. I just wish, listen to me, make you no mistake about it. 50 is pure hip hop, pure MC. And he'll, just like Mike Tyson. Does every time Mike Tyson stuck his makes him any less the killer that he is in the ring? See, and I think that's the problem that people don't understand when it comes to this hypersexuality in hip hop and masculinity. A lot of people don't realize a lot of the archetypes and everything that they built on are built around Roman soldiers, Greek soldiers who used butt breaking as a way to trauma bond with each other so that they would kill for each other on the field. You got to think about it. Real soldiers back in those days, they didn't spend a lot of time around women. Women were something that happened or something that you did to have babies with. But most of your time was spent with the men in the field.
You'd think Diddy would be rattled by all this drama, but that's not the case. There are whispers of a side to Diddy we've never seen before, one that's ready for payback. While he's been surprisingly quiet, you know what they say about the calm before the storm. This isn't just a drizzle, it's a Category 5 hurricane brewing. Diddy has been plotting and gearing up for a comeback that's sure to shock everyone. At first, some thought he was done for, but they couldn't be more wrong. While 50 Cent was busy stirring the pot on social media, Diddy was busy making strategic moves behind the scenes. He's been reaching out to everyone he's ever helped, music executives, old school rappers, and new artists. Word is he's assembling his own hip-hop Avengers, ready to take on 50 Cent and anyone else who tries to challenge him. The stage is set for an epic showdown.
You called it, man. A few weeks ago, you was on the platform and you said that he was going to get arrested in September.
Yeah, man. Anybody who in law enforcement or people know the law, when Homeland Security ran up into his house, people will tell you, or people knew that it was just a matter of time that they was going to indict him and bring him in to see the judge, bro. It was just a matter of time. I just figured out with the grand jury and their different sessions and stuff like that, and then what one of the witnesses told me, I just figured it out that it was going to be around September that they were going to bring him in, bro. People might not understand. It's difficult when you see a brother that has so much promise become an icon as far as in the music business and stuff that he did, to turn around and just tear his whole life down. But it's all because of his mentors and the people that trained him and taught him the music business. You know, it's all about the people who trained and taught him the music business, because Puff wasn't, he wasn't born a monster. You know what I'm saying? He was made into a monster, brother. Do you understand what I'm saying? He was made into a monster from the stuff that happened to him, the things that he had to do. You understand? The things that he had to do to become who he is. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like this, brother. You never like something so much that you can't do without, and you never be willing to do anything to get where you want to be at. You got to have principles, you got to have morals, you got to keep with that stuff. And in that music business, a lot of that stuff get thrown out the window. You understand? And that's what happened to him. He started doing the things to other people that was done to him. To keep it frank, he was doing the things to other people that was done to him. And it is what it is. You gotta know better. And if you know better, you will do better.
You'd think Diddy would be rattled by all this drama, but that's not the case. There are whispers of a side to Diddy we've never seen before, one that's ready for payback. While he's been surprisingly quiet, you know what they say about the calm before the storm. This isn't just a drizzle, it's a Category 5 hurricane brewing. Diddy has been plotting and gearing up for a comeback that's sure to shock everyone. At first, some thought he was done for, but they couldn't be more wrong. While 50 Cent was busy stirring the pot on social media, Diddy was busy making strategic moves behind the scenes.
When he was in New York City, he was like that gecko from the Geico commercial. Then he turned and started going, when he lived in Cali and Miami, he turned into Godzilla. I would see him talk about how he using drugs. He was never like that. Smoking cigarettes, smoking weed and everything like that. He turned into something that you could consider a monster, bruh. Then he started doing things to people, you understand, that he learned. That's a learned behavior, bruh. Now, I'm not saying that he may have been doing a couple of things here and there with women, stuff like that in New York, but the things that there's talking about that he was doing, bringing in prostitutes to have sex with his girl and all that stuff like that, that was some crazy stuff to me, man. So I'm just looking at this whole thing, man, and you had asked me, and we don't have these conversations like most people do. We're gonna go back and you're gonna tell me what we're gonna talk about this. You said, I'ma ask you how you feel, bro. I don't want no man to ever go to jail and be leaving their kids behind, be leaving their family behind. You understand? But some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You got to realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bruh. It made him into a monster, bruh.